Why does anyone want to watch your video? And why do you want to watch this video? Well, you want to watch this video because I'm going to compare some different hooks. If you haven't seen the video that I released on hooks and I evaluated a hook that I did, I'll be linking to that and you'll want to watch that after this video. But we're going to compare a few different types of hooks and let's get right to it. So here we've got The Beat by Allen Parr, probably the largest Christian YouTuber on the platform with over 1 million subscribers, recently passed 1 million subscribers. We're going to look at a video from 6 years ago. We're going to look at a video from 1 year ago, which is his most popular video on the channel. And then we're going to look at a video by Ruslan KD, and we're going to compare these hooks, which they're a little bit different type of hooks. We're going to take a look here. We're going to see what it is about the hook that would make someone want to watch the video. So let's start with this one here. 6 years ago, when I filtered by most popular videos, this one was up there pretty high, but not as high as the one from a year ago. 332,000 views, and who knows what kind of subscribership he had at that point. Should Christians listen to secular music? Let's go ahead and start this.
Wait. Should Christians be listening to this? Hey everyone, my name is Allen Parr. Thank you all so much for tuning into The Beat. If this is your first time here, this channel is all about helping people like you grow spiritually by giving you truth, training, and teaching from the Word of God. And so today we are finally going to tackle the question, should Christians listen to secular music? This could also be applied to watching secular movies or reading secular books. And so at the end of this video, I'm going to give you what I believe is the answer. But before then, I'm going to give you 5 guidelines or 5 questions, if you will.
Okay, there you go. He told you what he's doing at the end of the video. We're going to come back to that. I want you to compare that to the newer video. We're talking 5 years later and just how much culture has changed on YouTube. So we're going to talk about that. Let's go ahead and play this. This here is, I've got some notes regarding that first one. And I'll get to, I'm just going to play this one right away so we can compare these two without any commentary. Then I'll come back and comment on this. This is 1 year ago. This Bethel worship song should be avoided by all Christians, worship leaders, and churches. Here's the beginning of this video.
All right, y'all. So recently I was at this conference and the worship was off the chain. I mean, the room was filled with people that were lifting their hands, singing praises to God. It was emotional. It was authentic. It was heartfelt. It was literally everything that you would want a worship service to be. And as a worshiper, I was fully engaged in this worship experience. That is, until I heard this one song being sung during the worship service, and it literally just messed up the entire worship service for me. And to my surprise, I looked around whenever I heard these lyrics being sung in this worship song, and I looked around and I was shocked that I did not see more Christians stopping in their tracks like, wait, hold up, this song is unbiblical, it's not theologically accurate. But no, I saw a room full of people lifting their hands and praising God and continuing in the worship as if nothing had ever changed. Now, at this point, you might be wondering, Brother Allen, what exactly is this song? Because whatever it is, I don't want to be guilty of singing it. Well, don't worry. I'm going to tell you exactly what this song is in just a moment. And I'm going to break down for you the exact lyrics of this song and the issues that I had with it. But before I do that, I want to lay down some ground rules, or basically some principles about worship music. Now, here's my basic premise and principle for this entire video. I don't have 5 points.
Okay, so here we're into the body of that video. So those are the hooks, and we'll get to the Ruslan one here in a bit. But here's what I wrote down regarding this. I mean, I timed this specifically. In this first video, there's 6 seconds of silence, which I actually, when I started it, I thought this was the most recent one. I was like, oh, that's from 6 years ago. I was like, that's actually a long time of silence. It may not seem like it, but with all the noise and with everything that we're used to on YouTube, that's a lot of silence. And it makes you wonder, like, is my computer on mute? What's going on with that? I think that, I don't know. I don't want to harp too much on that. I think that's just an interesting observation of the differences that we have between now and then. What we have after the silence is we have 10 seconds, uh, uh, 7 seconds of music. What's the 10 seconds? Something is at 10 seconds, but I didn't. So let me look at this again here. We've got
of the world. And finally it says,
here's the silence up to the 6 second mark. I think it's at the 10 second mark is what I'm saying. He gets to
wait.
Yeah.
Should Christians be listening to this?
There you go. Should Christians be? That's just one simple question. And then right at the 10 second mark, it gets to the music. Now there's 7 seconds of music, and that may not seem like much, but it's amazing how harsh people are and how quickly they click off. I wouldn't say you have to go overboard on this stuff, but certainly if you want to be a million subscriber YouTuber, you have to pay attention to that and be extremely harsh with your editing on that sort of thing. And so what worked 6 years ago doesn't work now. And so the difference that we see is he doesn't have a 7 second musical intro where he introduces himself, introduces his channel, his organization, gives his mission statement, does all of that at the beginning, where actually he spends from the 17-second marker to the 29-second marker 12 seconds talking about who he is, about his channel and his organization and the mission statement before he gets into the content. And he will not do that now. I guarantee that. And you did not see that in his video from 1 year ago. He's got a lot of B-roll there right at the beginning. And so that's something to take note of. I want to pay attention to the question that I was saying. We want to talk about why we want to watch these videos. So let's just go back to this video 6 years ago. What is it about this video that we want to watch? Why do we want to watch it based on the hook? Of course, he's demonstrating there, he's listening to some secular music, and then he just asks the question.
Wait. Should Christians be listening to this?
Should Christians be listening to this? And you're like, yeah, I want to know. I want to know the answer. Should Christians be listening to that? And so that's kind of a mild.
Hey everyone, my name is Allen Parr. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
A mild reason for wanting to watch the video. Now he's getting into
and teaching from
he's got some
the Word of God. And so today we are
with
finally going to tackle the question,
Now he's repeating the question.
Watching secular movies or reading secular books. And so at the end of this video, I'm going to give you what I believe is the answer. But before then, I'm going to give you...
And we want to watch to the end because they said at the end, I'm going to give my opinion. And so that's good. I mean, 6 years ago, but that's definitely a format that you can follow. Saying, just having a question at the beginning and saying, watch to the end, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you my opinion. I'm going to tell you something important at the end. Give them something, some reason to watch until the end. That definitely will help out in your videos. Now, the video that's most recent, jumping ahead 5 years to this one here, I would say what I noted on that one, make sure I'm looking at the right one, he created a problem immediately. And then he emphasized that problem. He doubled down on that problem. This hook was a lot longer than I expected. I was expecting like a 10-second hook, 5-second hook, 15 maybe, but I was not expecting the hook to be as long as it was because in fact, it was 1:24 before he got to the body of the content. But there was no intro, there was no music, it was a smooth transition, there was not really any decisive point where he switched from the actual hook to the content, to the main body of the video. And that's just an interesting notation. None of these things that I'm saying are anything that you have to take and apply to your videos in the sense of like, yeah, I want my videos to be that style of video and move that quickly. But they are observations that we can take as principles and learn from. And it's just an interesting observation, and that's all I'm doing here is observing, not telling you what to do with your videos, but these are interesting things to take note of. I would say you want to watch because he says, what song messed up the worship service? He's describing a worship service. He's at the worship service, and there was a song that really messed it up for him. He's showing some B-roll, and so that's getting people kind of in the frame of mind that they're even there at the worship service. And the B-roll is helping to create that because he's very visual and he uses a lot of B-roll in his videos, and it has high production value, high production style. It's a highly productive high production style type of video, which is how he grew to over 1 million subscribers. That's one of the reasons. And not everyone wants that kind of style, and so they're not going to have 1 million subscribers. Just not going to happen unless you have that kind of style on YouTube. But there's still things we can learn from it. And so he created a problem. He really emphasized that problem. He really created a great intrigue and curiosity. I really want to know what that song is. And he demonstrates he was shocked. There were lyrics in this song. It was not biblical. It was theologically off base. And you're like, well, I want to know what that song is. Tell me what that song is. And he continues on. It's like he doubles down and makes that point and then really emphasizes that point and then pulls back and he's like, I'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's talk about some principles for worship. And now he's going to move into the teaching mode, but he does have a hook because you know that later on you're going to find out what song that is. Also, you're going to find out, I thought I had something else on here. There's something else he says that makes you want to watch to the end. Let's just get back to this.
Power. Listen, when we have a song that we engage in this worship experience, that is until I heard this one song being sung during the worship service, and it literally just messed up the entire worship service for
No, it messed up the whole worship service. What song is it? Well, I got to watch the video to find out.
me. And to my surprise, I looked around whenever I heard these lyrics being sung in this worship song, and I looked around and I was shocked that I did not see more Christians stopping in their tracks like, wait, hold up, this song is unbiblical. It's not.
He looked around, other Christians didn't have a problem with it, and he was shocked. He was shocked. I mean, this is a shocking thing. I need to watch this video to find out what the answer is. And you're probably going to go watch this video when you're done with this. But I'm making the point that this is a good hook. And that's why you got almost 2.2 million views now, March 18th, 2022. He also had some good traction with the algorithm.
Theologically accurate, but no, I saw a room full of people lifting their hands and praising. At this point, you might be wondering, Brother Allen, what exactly is this song? Because whatever it is, I don't want to be guilty of singing it. Well, don't worry. I'm going to tell you exactly what this song is in just a moment.
So that's a transition point. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you what it is, but let me get to these principles. Here's the teaching principles, and then, he's going to come back to it. But he didn't say at the end.
I'm going to break down for you the exact lyrics of this song and the issues that I had.
But by saying in a moment, it could be a few minutes. And so we're at 1:17 right now. If he comes back to that, at the 3-minute moment, the 4-minute moment, even the 5-minute moment at an 8:31 minute video. That's going to help increase the average view duration, because if you've got to watch the video at least almost halfway through or something, and before you get the answer to the question that you really, really want to know the answer to, and then you just click out at that point, well, that's still going to be a lot better than people jumping off at, a minute or two just into the video if they hang on until 4 or 5 minutes in. But let's hear what else he says.
With it, but before I do that, I want to lay down some ground rules, or basically some principles about worship music. Now, here's my basic premise and principle for this entire video. I don't have 5 points. I got one major point, and that is the fact that worship songs are just as important as sermons. Why is it that we will not sit by and accept or listen to a sermon that is theologically inaccurate? Oh, but we'll sing a worship song that has lyrics that are theologically incorrect. Why is that? Well, I'm gonna tell you why it is. Because many of us as Christians, we get so caught up in the...
Okay, so he's gonna drive that point home. And really what I didn't see in that video was anything that he was holding you to the end for, and that's perfectly fine, because he's just going to drive right into the content and assume that you're going to be interested enough to keep watching this, and he's going to hold your attention. And so sometimes it's helpful to have something to keep someone toward the end and say, hey, I'm going to talk about this at the end. Be sure to watch to the end. And other times it's not so necessary. That just demonstrates that it's not always necessary to have that little carrot dangling there to be sure to watch at the end to the end until you get that. It certainly can be helpful, but if you just dive into the content and you're engaging and you're interesting and you're not losing people's attention, they will continue to watch the video. That's what that demonstrates. Let's get to Ruslan's video. That's what we're going to see here. He's got a different type of hook. This is a little bit more of what I talked about, which is the preview, the coming up preview. So he previews something that's coming up, and this is a podcast format, so this is a little bit different format. But he's going to give a preview of what's coming up in the podcast, and I want you to see some things that I stated in the other video. If you saw the other video, you'll see that played out in this video. Let's go ahead and start that.
I think it's business at the end of the day. Like, you know, sometimes we can't differentiate between the ministry and business, right? And it's like, well, the ministry is...
Man, that just sounds too big as an operation. The megachurch sounds crazy. Like, is this the way Jesus intended it? This sounds more like a business than a ministry. How would you respond to that, having been in the ecosystem?
There's the hook. Here's the intro.
Ruslan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing guest for you guys today. We're going to be talking about some important things like worship, like the evangelical industrial complex, gospel music being used as a way to bring people together. I'm sure we'll get into manhood and so much more. And without any further ado, our guest, Mr. Michael Bethany.
What's up, man?
Appreciate you being here, brother.
All right, so the intro is just very simple. We're going to talk about these things, and here's the guest. And I didn't really have to put as much effort into the hook, or into the intro, because he had that intrigue created from that preview coming up hook. I've seen him do, other videos. I'm not commenting on anyone's theology right now. I'm just talking about hooks. I've seen other videos, and he usually has stronger intros than that. Now, to be fair, he may have been going for more of a chill intro, since this is a sit-down podcast style. A lot of times he does have a very high energy intro even after the coming up preview, but he might have just been going for a more relaxed intro in this case. Either way, you need to really capture the viewer's attention and give them a reason to watch. And that was definitely done in that coming up preview. It is enticing and gets the person wanting to watch the full video or the full podcast. But the preview, the coming up preview, was well done. That was 8 seconds was for that first little portion. And then it moved to another clip, which was 22.5 seconds, which is actually pretty long. A lot of his hooks are 15 seconds or less. So that was pretty long for him. But 8 seconds followed by 22.5 seconds in the second one. And then it just cuts off. He's got that climax music that comes in. And then it moves right into the intro. And if you don't know what I'm talking about,
I think it's business.
That portion.
Ladies and gentlemen, having been more like a business than is this too big?
Business.
So they bring that in early.
Right? And it's like, well, the ministry is...
So there's music playing behind it, and then the music gets louder and louder and louder and louder, and kind of I imagine the volume fades down a little bit too. Here's 9 seconds.
Man, that just sounds too big as an operation. The megachurch sounds crazy. Like, is this the way Jesus intended it? This sounds more like a business than a ministry. How would you respond to that, having been in the ecosystem?
Boom. Into his intro.
All right.
Ruslan, which is like, what, half a second, something like that. So anyway, I think you found those, I hope you found those interesting. His very different style of podcast, and he's got 2 channels and all this stuff. He's got, it's entertainment and some cultural commentary, mostly entertainment. a big Christian entertainer. And so that is going to be a very different style than a Bible teaching type of channel like Allen Parr. But you see how these different hooks can be used, and that coming up preview can be used for any type of channel. And a couple of takeaways I want to give on this is basically after seeing all of this, keep it simple. All right, even though you see this, do what you can. You may be skilled in editing, you may not, but you see some of the things other YouTubers are doing, and so you see things that work well. With Ruslan's video, I would say you want to watch it if you were intrigued by that opening preview. If you're like, oh wow, I want to see the answer to the question there. He asked a question, you want to see what that answer was, and so you want to keep watching to find that answer. And all a hook is really is it's selling someone on watching the video. I mean, you've got a series of sales essentially that are made. A sale is just a convincing someone of the value that you're providing. And so you're basically saying with a thumbnail and title, this video is worth your time. And then in the hook, you're communicating in some way, this video, the rest of this video is worth your time. You should keep watching. And then as you're presenting the material in the video, you may even say things like, and I'm going to get to that other article. I'm going to get to that other point. I'm going to get to that other story very soon. I will get to that. I've got a few more things to say here. I've got a few more lessons to teach. I've got a few more things to cover, and we are going to get to the primary story that you tuned in for. And what you're doing there is you're engaging with the person. You're recognizing that they're there for that main thing at the end or wherever you placed it, or you're just trying to jump back in and kind of recognize where they're at, and that you understand they're waiting for something and you haven't delivered on it yet. And so you have to be conscientious about the fact that you have not given them everything. You might have given them some of the things you promised, but you've not given them everything yet. And so you need to recognize that and communicate that to them so that they are aware that you're still thinking of that and that you will be coming back to something or getting to something that you said would be coming. And so you're continually providing value all the way to the end. Back to my takeaways. Keep it simple. After all that, may not seem like you can, but I just don't want you to feel overwhelmed from that. But at the same time, it's good for you to just understand these principles and understand the why behind it. Why would I want to watch that first video, that second video, and that third video that I showed these hooks from? What is it about those hooks that make you want to watch those videos? Doing that exercise yourself on any video that you watch is actually very productive. It's very effective for your own creation. And then you make it as simple or as complex as you can based on your own abilities, skill sets, and production capabilities. Like, if you have a studio like Ruslan, you can do different things. Number 2, keep your intro short. That's kind of the takeaway. I'm certainly not saying to not introduce yourself and your name and all of those things. I mean, this is Allen Parr over 1 million subscribers versus Allen Parr of a lot less subscribers. And so he doesn't really need to introduce himself at all, would be one thing. And so you can choose how you want to introduce yourself and when you want to introduce yourself. There are times when I introduce myself and the channel and podcast name, whatever, at the beginning of the video, and there are other times I do it at the end of the video, but I try to just be short and quick with it. I mentioned this in the other video, but I used to say on my other channel, my name's Adam Markley. Welcome to Truth Transforms. My name's Adam Markley, because that's the name of the podcast. And then I would start going into take a look around the channel and do all these things. There might be a playlist that you like and a number of different things that I would say, and I would look back and I would realize that was like a minute and a half I was saying all of those things, where I hadn't actually gotten to the meat of the content yet. So if I want to say that, I can do it at the end of the video, or I could do it in the middle of the video. I could even do it with in editing, where I could record something later and just cut it into the middle of the video. But maybe I don't need to do that at the beginning of the video. And so just consider that when you're putting your video together. So keep your intro short. Don't drag it on too long. Whatever you decide on, don't drag it on too long. And number 3, it's about effort, not perfection. It's about thoughtfulness, not a perfect hook, but the fact that you put in the thought about how you're going to approach the video and how you're actually going to create a hook for the purpose of providing value to the customer, the person viewing the video, who is a customer. They are consuming. They are purchasing your product by sacrificing their time. You're saying, I have 20 minutes here, and all it costs you is 20 minutes of your time. And they're like, yeah, I don't know. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you 30 seconds. Click. And if they're sold in that first 30 seconds, they might actually give you the next 19 and a half minutes. But you have to show them that it's worth sticking around for that next 19 and a half minutes in that first 30 seconds. That's what a hook is for. It's about convincing someone that they decided to click and they decided to try it out for 30 seconds or a minute, but you're convincing them to actually watch the whole video. There you go. So if you're still watching this video, those are the 3 takeaways. I hope they're helpful. Go apply them to your channel. Now let me introduce myself. My name's Adam Markley. You're watching Get the Word Out, helping you get the Word of God out to the masses. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content like this. Also, this is brought to you by Christian Scripture Graphics, which provides quality scripture graphics for all your social media needs. Be sure to check them out at christianscripturegraphics.com. Look at the recommended YouTube channels, and you will see them there. Go subscribe to them too. You should probably do that. All right, thanks for watching. You can watch this video here that YouTube's recommending because I think you'll like it, and I'll see you in the next video.